The path to American independence was marked by a series of pivotal events, driven by the colonies' growing discontent with British rule. This narrative chronicles the significant developments from initial unrest to the signing of the Declaration of Independence, illuminating the struggle for autonomy and the principles that shaped a new nation. If you are new to this channel, I would really appreciate if you can subscribe and give a like to this video. Please check out our other videos as well. In the early 1760s, the British colonies in America began to feel the strain of British taxation and laws imposed after the 7 Years' War. The Sugar Act of 1764 and the Stamp Act of 1765 marked the first instances of direct taxation, igniting widespread resentment. Colonists argued they should not be taxed without representation in Parliament, laying the groundwork for organized resistance. The discontent grew as many colonists started to question the legitimacy of British rule, fueling a desire for change. In response to oppressive taxes, groups like the Sons of Liberty formed, led by prominent figures such as Samuel Adams. These organizations coordinated protests and boycotts against British policies. The unity among the colonists was unprecedented, as individuals from diverse backgrounds came together to resist what they viewed as tyranny. This collective action marked a significant step towards a unified revolutionary movement. On March 5, 1770, tensions in Boston erupted into violence during the Boston Massacre. British soldiers fired into a crowd, killing 5 colonists. This event became a catalyst for colonial outrage. Paul Revere's famous engraving depicted the soldiers as brutal aggressors, stirring public sentiment against British rule. The massacre transformed the nature of colonial dissent, solidifying the resolve to resist. In 1773, the Tea Act allowed the British East India Company to sell tea directly to the colonies, threatening local merchants. In protest, colonists disguised as Native Americans dumped 342 chests of tea into Boston Harbor on December 16, 1773. The Boston Tea Party became a symbol of defiance against British oppression, showcasing the lengths to which colonists were willing to go to assert their rights. The British government retaliated against the Boston Tea Party with the Coercive Acts, 1774, which included closing Boston Harbor and revoking Massachusetts' charter. These punitive measures intensified colonial anger and prompted a united response, leading to the convening of the First Continental Congress in September 1774. Delegates from 12 colonies gathered to discuss their grievances and formulate a collective action plan. On April 19, 1775, the first shots of the Revolutionary War were fired at Lexington and Concord. British troops aimed to seize colonial arms, but faced fierce resistance from local militias. This encounter, known as the Shot Heard Round the World, marked the transition from political protest to armed conflict, igniting widespread revolutionary fervor among the colonies. The Second Continental Congress convened in May 1775, faced with the reality of war. They formed the Continental Army and appointed George Washington as commander. The Congress began organizing supplies and troops, marking a commitment to independence while still holding out hope for reconciliation. This assembly became a critical turning point in the struggle for autonomy. In July 1775, Congress sent the Olive Branch Petition to King George III, expressing a desire for peace and reconciliation. Despite their hopes, the king rejected it and declared the colonies in rebellion. This rejection deepened the divide, convincing many colonists that independence was the only viable path forward, as aspirations for negotiation were dashed. In January 1776, Thomas Paine published Common Sense, a pamphlet that advocated for independence in clear, accessible language. Paine criticized monarchy and promoted the idea of a democratic government based on Enlightenment principles. His work resonated widely, selling hundreds of thousands of copies and helping to galvanize public support for the independence movement. In July 1775, Congress adopted the Declaration of the Causes and Necessity of Taking Up Arms, articulating the reasons for their struggle against British oppression. This document emphasized the colonists' right to defend themselves against tyranny, framing their actions as a fight for liberty. It laid the philosophical groundwork for the forthcoming Declaration of Independence. As men took up arms, women played essential roles in the revolutionary effort. They managed farms, organized boycotts, and served as spies or even soldiers. Figures like Abigail Adams emerged, advocating for women's rights and education, underscoring the crucial contributions women made during the Revolution and pushing for future discussions on gender equality. The Enlightenment profoundly influenced revolutionary thought, emphasizing reason, individual rights, and democratic governance. Philosophers like John Locke argued for the social contract and natural rights, ideas that permeated colonial discourse. These principles inspired leaders to envision a government based on equality and justice, directly contributing to the push for independence. In late 1775, Congress authorized an invasion of Canada, believing that French Canadians would support their cause. However, harsh winter conditions and lack of local support led to a failed campaign. The defeat at Quebec marked a significant setback, highlighting the challenges of uniting the colonies and their allies against British rule. By the spring of 1776, the push for formal independence grew stronger. Thomas Jefferson was appointed to draft the Declaration of Independence, outlining the colony's grievances and aspirations. His eloquent writing, influenced by Enlightenment ideals, sought to articulate the colonists' desire for freedom and self-governance, aiming to unite the colonies under a common cause. As support for independence grew, several colonies began taking steps toward autonomy, establishing their own governments and military forces. Local conventions debated the future of governance, reflecting a shift in mindset. Leaders who were once loyal to the crown began advocating for full independence, showcasing the deepening commitment to revolutionary ideals. In late June 1776, Jefferson presented the final draft of the Declaration of Independence to Congress. After thorough debates and revisions, Congress adopted the document on July 4, 1776. It not only declared independence, but also articulated the principles of democracy and human rights, marking a pivotal moment in the colony's break from British rule. July 4, 1776, emerged as a symbol of American liberty when the Declaration was officially adopted. It asserted the colony's freedom from British authority and their right to self-governance. This day marked the beginning of a new nation and inspired movements for freedom globally, as the principles outlined in the Declaration resonated throughout history. News of the Declaration's adoption spread rapidly through the colonies, igniting celebrations and rallies. Many colonists viewed it as a bold affirmation of their rights, while others remained apprehensive about the impending war. The Declaration became a powerful symbol of hope and determination, galvanizing support for the revolutionary cause and uniting the colonies against British oppression. Following the Declaration, the Revolutionary War intensified. Battles like the Battle of Bunker Hill showcased the determination and courage of colonial forces. Despite suffering heavy losses, the Americans demonstrated their resolve to fight for freedom. The war became not just a struggle for independence, but a test of will and endurance against a powerful empire. As the war progressed, the Continental Congress sought assistance from foreign allies. France, motivated by its rivalry with Britain, provided crucial support, including military supplies and financial aid. This alliance played a significant role in the eventual success of the revolution, illustrating the importance of international support in achieving independence. The winter of 1777 to 1778 at Valley Forge tested the Continental Army's resilience. Soldiers endured harsh conditions, with inadequate supplies and food. Despite the suffering, the leadership of George Washington and the training from Baron von Steuben transformed the army into a more disciplined and effective fighting force. This period became a testament to endurance and determination. The Battle of Saratoga in 1777 marked a turning point in the war. American forces secured a decisive victory, convincing France to formally ally with the colonies. This triumph not only boosted American morale but also changed the international dynamics of the conflict, leading to increased support for the revolutionary cause and a broader coalition against Britain. As the war continued into the early 1780s, American forces, bolstered by French support, launched successful campaigns against British troops. Key victories in the South, including the Siege of Yorktown, culminated in the British surrender in 1781. This marked a significant moment in the quest for independence, as the tides of war turned decisively in favor of the colonies. In 1783, the Treaty of Paris was signed, officially ending the Revolutionary War. Britain recognized the independence of the United States, and the borders of the new nation were established. This treaty signified not only the end of hostilities, but also the emergence of the United States as a sovereign nation on the global stage. Following the war, the newly independent states faced the daunting task of nation-building. The Articles of Confederation were established, but proved ineffective due to weak central authority. This led to calls for a stronger national government, culminating in the Constitutional Convention of 1787. The challenges of governance were evident as leaders debated the future structure of their nation. The U.S. Constitution was drafted in 1787, establishing a framework for a strong federal government while balancing states' rights. Ratification debates ensued, with Federalists advocating for a robust central government and Anti-Federalists voicing concerns about potential tyranny. Ultimately, the Constitution was ratified in 1788, laying the foundation for American democracy. In 1791, the Bill of Rights was adopted, addressing concerns about individual liberties. These first 10 amendments guaranteed fundamental rights, including freedom of speech, religion, and assembly. The inclusion of the Bill of Rights marked a critical step in safeguarding personal freedoms and ensuring that the new government would be accountable to its citizens. The American Revolution had a profound impact, inspiring movements for democracy and independence worldwide. The principles articulated in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution became foundational ideals for numerous countries, influencing revolutions and democratic movements across the globe. The legacy of the revolution extended beyond national borders, shaping the course of history. July 4th became a national holiday, celebrating the adoption of the Declaration of Independence. Traditions such as fireworks, parades, and patriotic displays emerged, symbolizing the enduring spirit of liberty. This day serves as a reminder of the sacrifices made for freedom and the ongoing quest for equality and justice in the United States. The quest for freedom and self-governance continues to resonate in American society. The ideals of the revolution inspire ongoing discussions about rights, equality, and justice. The spirit of independence remains a driving force in shaping the nation's identity and guiding its evolution, reminding citizens of their shared commitment to liberty. The journey to American independence was a complex interplay of ideas, conflicts, and resolutions. From the initial discontent to the triumphant adoption of the Declaration of Independence, the story of the United States is one of resilience and determination. The principles established during this era continue to influence the nation and inspire movements for freedom and equality worldwide. Thank you for making it this far. We have more amazing videos coming your way. Please subscribe so you won't miss out. Thank you for your support and don't forget to like, comment, and share. I will see you in the next video.